And welcome to another edition of the show. We begin with men's basketball. Jomaru Brown, a sophomore guard, scored 41 in the narrow loss to Western Kentucky. And you really got your medium-range game going, hitting those 15-footers. Did you feel like you were in a rhythm in that game?
Yeah. After the first one fell, my first attempt, I was just like, I feel like this is going to be a good game. So, yeah.
I looked at your line in that game. You were 16 of 28, 4 of 11 from three. The three-point line has been moved back well over a foot. Do you notice a difference, or do you just play to the line and don't even think about it?
Honestly, we put in, me staying here both sessions of the summer, we put in a lot of shots. I got up a lot of shots. So it honestly feels normal.
It's back down now to the international line, still not at the NBA line. This is a basketball team that has you returning, Trey King returning, Lachlan Anderson as a senior, but you've added some new guys. Ty Taylor is a transfer in. So it's a mixture of old and new. You've lost Nick Mayo, who was the all-time leading scorer. So do you feel like you're still, as a team, a work in progress?
Definitely, especially it's early in the season. We got, I think, like 6 new recruits. But I feel like it's coming together, honestly.
Do you feel different as a sophomore than a freshman?
Yeah, a little bit. Definitely way more. I got to be way more of a leader for these guys, just trying to help them in practice and stuff like that. But it's a work in progress, definitely.
Coach has said to me on post-game shows, and I know you've heard it over and over, you play faster in a game, and that sometimes causes you to lose the ball. So he wants you play fast in practice to assimilate or to recreate what you're going to do in a game. Is that a challenge you need to meet?
Definitely. I have been turning the ball over a good amount, but with us playing fast, I'm gonna make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Most of them are unforced turnovers if you think about it. So it's just me, it's early in season 2, so just me getting a hang of everything. And you know what I'm saying? I feel like turnovers are gonna come down a little bit more.
Right. The Colonels are 3-2 now, and off to the District of Columbia they go for 2 games, Friday and Saturday. It's called the Battle for the Capital. You're going to play at an arena that hosts the WNBA team, the G League team. In that complex is the official practice facility for the Washington NBA team. And you're from Raleigh, so pretty close to home. You've got to be excited about going to D.C.
Yeah, of course. Especially my dad's from Virginia, so he's going to have a lot of people coming up from Virginia to D.C. to watch me play, so I'm real excited to play.
Off the court, you are looking at a psychology degree. What do you want to do with that? I know you'd love, and I think you will play pro basketball somewhere after college, but what do you want to do with that degree later in life?
Honestly, being an athlete, I know we deal with a lot of like mental stuff, and just like having to balance everything like on the court, basketball, school. It's a lot, and I just like to help people with that.
I think the culture in college athletics now, that people are recognizing that part of the game, I know it crept into golf way early, but do you sense that people understand that's an important part of getting an athlete ready to be a high performer?
Definitely. With the social media and stuff like that, people have been more open about it, and so I feel like it's definitely becoming people are becoming more aware of, you know what I'm saying, mental health issues. So.
Right. He's been injured a little bit, but you're going back to the place where your favorite player plays, right? John Wall is your favorite player?
Yeah.
Why John Wall?
Well, I'm from Raleigh, North Carolina, and he's from there too. He's around the same area. Just watching him in high school, his school was like right across the street from my neighborhood, so I would be going to his games and stuff all the time. My uncle actually coached him too, so just watching him like have those big games and stuff like that, and watching him become like, you know what I'm saying, the #1 player in the country too. So that's why he's my favorite player.
All right, thanks, Jomaru. Congratulations on the 41-point game, and good luck this weekend.
Appreciate you.
All right, the Colonels in the battle for the Capital. On Friday afternoon, they'll take on Florida International. The Panther team, a lot like EKU, turns teams over, high scoring, should be a really interesting style versus style game. And then on Saturday afternoon, the Vikings of Cleveland State. Both of those games start at 3:30. We'll have our coverage at 100.7 FM on Friday, at 106.7 FM on Saturday. Coming up next, we'll talk EKU football with the head coach of the Colonels, Mark Elder.
Every day is a concept that few people can commit to. Every day requires a level of dedication that forces you to test your limits.
Every day I'll give back to the community because I draw strength from their support. Every day the sounds of your cheers will echo through my mind. Knowing that you have my back means I can always look forward.
Every day I'll be too tired to sweat and my bones will ache. Every day will provide me with the slight edge that I need to succeed. Champions are built every day.
At Eastern Kentucky University, we recognize greatness starts in the classroom, but it doesn't end there. You have to get hands-on, get real-world experience, and discover who you are meant to be. Be a crime fighter. Be a visionary. Be a colonel. See what you can be. Visit go.eku.edu/colonel.
Down in Jacksonville, Alabama on Saturday, it will be a pair of 6 and 5 teams. Jacksonville State and Eastern Kentucky. Head coach Mark Elder of the Colonels is here to talk about that. But first, let's go back to what I thought was a tremendous, dominating defensive performance in a win, 22-10 over Tennessee Tech. Scoreboard doesn't really say how well the Colonels dominated last Saturday.
I was really pleased with our team. And particularly on defense, as you pointed out. We held them to 150 total yards, 2 yards rushing. The only touchdown they got was after an unfortunate fumble that they got the ball in the 5. And even then, we made them earn it. I mean, they had to go all the way down to third down to get it. But I thought our defense played great. 7 sacks. I was really pleased with that. And I was pleased with the other side of the ball. We almost tripled their yardage, just shy of 450 yards. I thought it was really a complete victory in all regards. The one area, just if we could have punched in a couple more touchdowns in the red zone, unfortunately we had to kick a couple that kept the score a little bit closer than maybe it really was, because I did feel like for 60 minutes we were in complete control of that game.
Parker McKinney starts. He gets injured in the second half, and Connor Blount has to come off the bench, cold, without any warm-up on a cold day. Yeah. And after one pass that sailed over a receiver, and he may have been throwing it away, boy, he was sharp, and you got a really big insurance touchdown with Connor as your quarterback.
Yeah, Connor did great, and that's exactly what we expected from him. He's a veteran guy. He's played a lot of football, and he's come off the bench before, and that's what he did. I mean, we expected to see him come off the bench and perform well. He's a pro. Every single day he shows up. He's engaged. He's locked in. So you know that he's preparing himself like he's a play away, like he was, and that showed on Saturday.
It is a Jacksonville State team that won 5 straight OVC championships until this year. They've never had a non-winning season since they joined the OVC in 2003. Best they can do now is beat EKU and get back to 500. You're trying to lock down a winning season, snap a 6-game losing streak against them. So what's going to be the key down in Jacksonville on Saturday?
It's going to be our performance and our preparation to perform at a high level. It's a very talented team, no question about it, but our performance is based upon us. If we can go in and have a great week of preparation, be very, very focused, play with great effort and physicality, and be locked in all day Saturday, that's going to be what's needed is our performance and not necessarily anything about them. But I know that we're going to have a very, very motivated group. I know the senior class wants to snap that losing streak to Jacksonville State and go out with back-to-back 7-win seasons.
Zary Cooper, who is the quarterback, Josh Pearson, a great wide receiver, both on the preseason Walter Payton Award watch list, which is the best player in FCS football at the end of the season. They've still had good numbers. So where has Jacksonville State struggled? Statistically, on paper, it looks like defensively. What are you seeing?
Well, I think that really they're very similar to what they've been. This isn't much of a different team. I'd say a couple things have just not gone their way.
Turnovers, for one.
Yeah, that's going to be one of them. I was going to say usually they're on the positive side of the turnover margin. This year they're on the negative, and that always plays a big part. But in the past, they've been a team that's won close games and always won those close games to be the champion. And this year, for whatever reason, outside of one game, their losses have been close losses where they're just a play or two away. And I don't think it's a major difference as far as the team. It's just they're for whatever reason, they're not making that one or two at the end, and the other team is. So I think that you're going to see two really good teams, two teams that are kind of in the same boat, where there's a lot of games that are one or two plays away that are both 6-5 going and fighting for that 7th win.
Okay, good luck on Saturday down in Jacksonville.
Thank you.
The head coach of the Colonels, Mark Elder. The game starts at 2 o'clock Eastern Time. Our radio coverage at 100.7 FM. You can find it on the TuneIn app and at EKUsports.com with the stream. It's also on ESPN3. When we come back, we'll switch back to basketball and talk women's basketball. After this on Inside EKU Sports.
We are more than just athletes. We inspire scholars. We inspire leaders. We inspire champions. We inspire family. This is the Ohio Valley Conference.
At Eastern Kentucky University, we recognize greatness starts in the classroom, but it doesn't end there. You have to get hands-on, get real-world experience, and discover who you are meant to be. Be a rising star. Be a hero. Be a colonel. See what you can be. Visit go.eku.edu/colonel.
Back to basketball now on Inside EKU Sports. We talk women's basketball with one of the assistants, Jackie Alexander. 2 good wins, even over a Memphis team that you really didn't shoot the ball well. But then you play Butler, and you kind of got that reality check a little bit. And I liked what Coach Sam put on Twitter after the Sunday night game. We will learn and get better from it. So what was the message, and how will you learn as a team?
Yeah, I think, our first 2 games we came in, we played hard, and that was the factor that set us apart from our opponents. Yesterday I think we had a week off before we played between Memphis and Butler, and the energy wasn't quite there, and I think that it showed our, relatively young team that we have to bring the energy night in and night out. We are not a team that's going to come in and knock down a lot of 3-point shots, but our effort and our energy is what kind of sets us apart, and we didn't necessarily have that yesterday, so it was a reality check, as you said. And, we'll learn from it and make sure that we don't make the same mistake moving forward.
Samari Mowbray led you in that game with 15, the Northern Kentucky transfer. The one thing I've been caught by in looking at the 3 games you've played is the balanced scoring. Mm-hmm. I mean, you never know who of 10 players who's going to step up and be your rebounder, be your top scorer, that kind of thing. So in a way, that's good, right?
For sure. Yeah, no, that's good. I think, a big thing that Coach Sam says is that we're going to be unscoutable, because night in and night out, you don't know who's going to be the leading scorer for us. You don't know who's going to be the game changer, who's going to be that difference maker. And I think that, makes us good, because it shows our team and our opponents that each person down the line is important to our team.
You played high school basketball just down the road, down I-75 at Rockcastle County, and went to West Point for a year, and then to the University of the Cumberlands down in Williamsburg. So back in Kentucky, that's going to feel good, right?
Yeah, it's a good thing. I think it's been nice being out on the recruiting trail, stopping at various high schools within the state, and people know who I am, and that's a good feeling, to walk in and see a friendly face.
Well, Jackie Alexander's path has gone many, many directions, because you were in the Army, so you served in Iraq for the United States military as well. Tell me about that experience.
I did. I think that's probably the best thing I've done in my life so far, the opportunity to serve my country. And it's funny, because basketball led me to that. Being recruited by West Point, being in the military was never anything that I had my sights set upon, but it ended up being the best thing I've ever done. I think anytime that you can give back and be a part of something bigger than yourself, it's a good thing.
What was your role? What kind of work did you do?
When I deployed, I was an executive officer for a company. So my company was in charge of logistics, moving supplies to forward units. And So we just kind of made sure that those companies, had the supplies they need and were able to accomplish their mission.
A little tougher than a scouting report for the next opponent?
It depends on what scout it is.
Yeah, there you go. That's a great answer. What do you expect from this team? I know A.W. Hamilton for the men said everything builds towards the Ohio Valley Conference. Are you in the women's program taking that same approach?
For sure, we are. I think we have a very tough non-conference schedule, but we just keep, our sights set on the OVC. It's kind of like our second season is what we're probably going to say. These tough games that we have in the non-conference are really going to prepare us, to be the best that we can in the OVC. We were picked 10th, but we think we're last, but we can do better than that.
You coached last year up in New York, right?
I did.
Welcome back to Kentucky. I bet you're
you.
glad to be home, right?
I am. It's nice. It's nice.
Sounds good. Well, Jackie, good luck to the Colonels this week.
For sure. Thank you so much.
All right. It's going to be Miami of Ohio, the Red Hawks at Alumni Coliseum. That game is on Wednesday night at 7. You can catch it on ESPN+. Wes Chandler will have the radio broadcast as well. And then the Colonels go on the road to Georgia to take on Mercer. That game on Sunday. And that does it for another edition of Inside EKU Sports. Want to keep up with EKU athletics? Just go to these social media pages. You can get all of the information. And as always, go Big E.